It is President's Day, where we honor Washington and Lincoln. In D.C., if you are looking at the White House, off to your right is the Lincoln Memorial. You drop by there and give thanks for the republic that he saved. You look down the mall and you can just see it off in the distance from the White House, the Washington Monument, and you think about the republic Washington, created. It's no surprise that Lincoln and Washington sit on the top 10 list of presidents as determined by the Presidential Greatness Project. It comes from the Presidents and Executive Politics section of the American Political Science Association. There's a bang-up convention if you've never been. Describes itself as the foremost organization of social science experts in presidential politics. They rank Lincoln first, followed by FDR, then Washington, Obama 7th, LBJ 9th, Biden 14th, and Trump dead last. Bill O'Reilly knows a thing or two about the presidents. He's written bestsellers about Reagan, Kennedy, Lincoln, and Trump. New book, Confronting the Presidents, is out in September. Bill, it is always good to see you. I thought you were the perfect guest for this segment. We'll get to Trump in a minute. I thought when you rank FDR 2nd, LBJ 9th, Obama 7th, that says you care a lot more about the liberal policies they institute than you do about the men and what they accomplished.
Sure. I mean, this is a liberal organization, and they have ranked the presidents in an ideological way. So Confronting the Presidents, my book that'll be out in September, basically is very simple, because I'm a simple man, Leland, as you well know. Who hurt the country? Who helped the country? And then we weigh one against the other to come up with judgments about whether they were effective or not. We do not rank the presidents, although we say that Lincoln was the greatest president because he had the most to overcome, following perhaps the worst president, James Buchanan, who allowed the South to get completely out of control in 4 years, did absolutely nothing to stem that rebellion. And when Lincoln walks in, it was a fait accompli. It was going to be a war. But otherwise, we did a lot of primary source reporting here, and we are not emotional in any way at all. So when you read the book, you're going to get just the facts.
All right. Well, we'll have to wait till September. There'll be more time for us to talk about that between then and now. I think about this list as it is. Biden 14th on ideology, I guess you would say. Where would you fairly rank Donald Trump?
You can't rank him yet, and you can't rank Biden yet, because we have to have a little bit more distance. A fair historian has to see how their policies play out in a longer term. Now, Joe Biden has been a terrible president as far as the American people are concerned. All right, working people in this country are getting hammered. The border is embarrassing and destructive. The Afghanistan thing was one of the worst foreign policy expositions in the history of this country, and overseas now is exploding everywhere. To say he's the 14th best president disqualifies that entire operation from any kind of serious debate. It
no, look, I looked
He's,
you know, Reagan, who won the Cold War and brought amazing prosperity to America, unquestionably, number 16. George H.W. Bush, number 19. Carter, 22nd. George W. Bush, 32nd. So the ideology thing is alive. When you look at this list, and since you've studied the presidents, both Kennedy and Reagan, from different perspectives, what is it, if there's a common theme that you've found, that makes a truly great president?
Putting the folks above politics, and that's very rare. It's very rare that these 45 men would do that. So Teddy Roosevelt was one who did. Most of them were captives of their party. And when the party came in and said, you do this, you did it. Some of them made horrendous mistakes, like Lyndon Johnson. Lyndon Johnson's waging of the Vietnam War what disqualifies him from any high position. That was an abomination. And he was the commander-in-chief and responsible for that. So it's putting the folks trying to help regular Americans improve their lives and have a pathway to the pursuit of happiness. But most presidents did not do that.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.